All right, today we're diving into the international bestseller Ikigai. Now, this is a book that makes a pretty big promise to unlock one of life's biggest questions, all through a single powerful Japanese concept. So let's find out what it's all about.
It's a question we've all asked, right? Humans have been chasing the answer for centuries. We look everywhere in our diets, our exercise routines, in medicine. But what if one of the biggest clues wasn't about what we do to our bodies, but how we find our purpose? So get this. On the Japanese island of Okinawa, for every 100,000 people, almost 25 of them are over the age of 100. I mean, that is way higher than the global average. This island is one of the world's famous blue zones, those places where people live these incredibly long, healthy lives. So what on earth is their secret? Well, if you ask the people of Okinawa, they'll tell you it's not just about the food or the weather. They credit their long lives to a concept that completely shapes their outlook. It's something they all share, and it gives them a very real reason to get excited about each and every day.
Okay, so what is this mysterious word? Let's go ahead and unlock the concept of Ikigai. That word is Ikigai. According to the people who live by it, our Ikigai is the very reason we get up in the morning. And it's not just about what makes you happy in the moment. No, it goes so much deeper than that. You could almost call it your existential fuel. So, how do you find your own reason for being? It's probably not going to be some single lightning bolt moment of inspiration. Instead, it's about finding that sweet spot where a few really key parts of your life perfectly intersect. The best way to picture Ikigai is to think of it like a Venn diagram for your soul. Your purpose, your reason for being, is found right there in the center, where four fundamental parts of your life all overlap. So what are these four elements? Well, first, there's what you love. That's your passion. Then, what the world needs. That's your mission. You've also got what you can be paid for, your profession. And finally, what you're good at, your vocation. The magic happens right in the middle. When you find that one thing that hits all four of these circles, well, that's it. That's your Ikigai. Now, living with Ikigai is deeply, deeply connected to this powerful psychological state that, honestly, many of us have probably experienced without even knowing what it's called. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who founded a whole school of psychology called logotherapy, loved this quote. His work showed that having a purpose, a real why, gives us this incredible resilience. That's the core of Ikigai, and when we're totally wrapped up in that why, we often hit this amazing state of focus and joy. Think about this for a second. Have you ever been so completely lost in something you were doing? Maybe you were playing an instrument, or painting, or even just working in the garden, and suddenly hours have passed and you didn't even notice? That incredible state of total immersion, that's what the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called flow. You know the feeling, right? It's being in the zone. And it turns out, that feeling is a massive part of living your Ikigai. And flow isn't just for artists or musicians, not at all. Research shows that a surgeon in the middle of a complex operation or a chess master deep in a match, they experience the exact same state. It's a fundamental human experience of deep, meaningful engagement. I love this analogy. It's a fantastic way to think about it. Your Ikigai isn't some detailed, turn-by-turn map telling you exactly what to do. Nope. It's a compass. It just gives you a direction, a purpose to move toward. And that lets you navigate all of life's twists and turns without needing some rigid, perfect plan. But look, just having a purpose doesn't mean life is suddenly easy. So, what kind of mindsets can help us stay on that path, especially when things get tough? Well, that brings us to the whole idea of resilience. This little chart here highlights a really crucial difference in perspective. You see, while something like psychoanalysis often looks backward to figure out our problems, logotherapy and Ikigai are all about looking forward. It's way less about where you've been and much more about finding meaning in where you're going. This bit of ancient Stoic wisdom is just fundamental to being resilient. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. And that mindset is exactly what lets someone with a strong Ikigai face challenges without getting completely knocked off course. There's another really beautiful Japanese concept that supports Ikigai, and it's called wabi-sabi. It's this idea of finding beauty in imperfection. So instead of chasing after some flawless, impossible ideal, wabi-sabi teaches us to appreciate things just as they are. Impermanent, incomplete, and, yeah, imperfect. And this applies to us too, embracing our own flaws and seeing setbacks not as failures but as chances to grow. That's what builds real resilience. It's this idea that challenges don't just have to be tolerated, they can actually make us stronger. So, the big question, how can we start to actually apply these ideas in our own lives? Well, the book offers some really simple, practical advice, inspired directly by the people who are living it every day. And it's not about making some huge, radical life changes overnight. It's about the fundamentals. In a place called Ogimi, the village of longevity, they have a strong culture of teamwork and form these close-knit social groups. They really nurture those friendships, they do regular, gentle exercise, and they feel a powerful sense of belonging. All these things create the foundation where an Ikigai can really thrive. The wisdom from Okinawa really boils down to a pretty simple philosophy. Stay active, but with what you love. Don't let a paycheck be your only reason for doing something. Instead, follow your curiosity, invest in your community, and try to fill your days with things that are truly, genuinely meaningful to you. So at the end of the day, you don't need some perfect 10-step plan to find your Ikigai. You really just need to start listening to that internal compass. It's already there. So let me ask you, what's one small thing, just one journey you can start today that points you in a direction that feels just a little more meaningful?